Things aren't looking so good for his real estate, but you did mention that one bright spot in his portfolio was his golf business. How is that business doing and why?
Indeed, yeah. So, people aren't going into the office and it's a Friday afternoon and they don't have that much work that week. They might be more inclined to hit the golf course than they used to. And that's benefiting golf property owners across the country, including Donald Trump, who's one of the largest golf investors as an individual of anybody in the country. So his most important property in the United States is called Trump National Doral. This is a golf resort that's down in Miami, Florida. It's got kind of an interesting history. He bought it for about $150 million in 2012 and put a ton of money, over $200 million, into the property, expecting for it to reap huge profits down the line. What happened instead was as soon as he finished that huge renovation, he got into politics and he turned off a bunch of his potential customers. So this is a place that had historically drawn a lot of people from the Northeast, particularly business travelers, people who want to have groups, conferences, that sort of thing. All of a sudden, Donald Trump is very unpopular in the Northeast, where people used to come down to Miami in the winter to enjoy this particular property. And if you're hosting some sort of conference, unless it's a political conference, you're probably not going to want to host it at a Trump place because you're going to annoy half of the people that you're going to be inviting. So they lost a lot of business that way. And their revenues went from about $92 million in 2015 to about $75 million before the pandemic. And that dug into their profits in a significant way, dropping them from about 12 or $13 million a year to a low of like $4 million. Then the pandemic hits and their revenue falls even further. The place was totally empty. In fact, on the day that it reopened, I happened to be down at the property and there was nobody there. I walked all the courses, nobody on the courses, all the halls of the hotel rooms were totally empty. I went to the bar, it was a bunch of people complaining about how, the pandemic was a hoax, but there were like two tables and the rest of the place was empty. Now what we're seeing is finally that business is coming back. So their revenues it now looks like are about $106 million. If that's the case, then we estimate that their profits should be approaching $20 million again. So the value of that property has surged as you've seen those financials come back. And that's his most important property, but it's extended across his portfolio in the United States, where he has another 10 golf clubs in addition to that one.